The NBA is where amazing happens, but sometimes it's where the unthinkable happens too. We're talking about a league where grown men fly through the air like they're trying out for Cirque du Soleil. But even with all that high-flying, ankle-breaking action, sometimes the real drama happens off the court. From wild brawls to players sliding into fans' DMs mid-game, the last 10 years have been absolutely insane. We've had coaches losing their minds, refs making calls that defy logic, and enough drama to make a soap opera jealous. Strap in, because today we're diving into the craziest NBA moments that made us all go, did that actually happen? Let's get into it. First up, we gotta talk about the night Isaiah Stewart channeled his inner Ron Artest. We're talking about the infamous Les Snubgate of 2021. LeBron James, the king himself, gets tangled up with Stewart after a missed free throw. When LeBron's elbow found its way to Stewart's face, it was on like Donkey Kong. Stewart, with blood streaming down his face, went full-on ballistic. He charged at LeBron, bulldozing through teammates and coaches. Security guards, players, even the coaching staff. Nobody could stop this man. It was pure chaos, folks. And, you know, LeBron, always the picture of composure, just kind of stood there like, hey, my bad. Didn't mean to start World War III. The memes, don't even get me started on the memes. The internet had a field day with this one. LeBron dodging a charging Stewart became an instant classic. This wasn't about LeBron's footwork. This was about the raw emotion, the intensity that makes the NBA must-see TV. When Isaiah Stewart snapped, the whole basketball world felt it. And you know what? That's what makes this game so great. It's unpredictable, it's passionate, and it's always entertaining. Stewart might have lost his cool, but he showed the world that he's not gonna back down from anybody. Not even King James. The suspensions, the fines, the endless debates on ESPN about who was right and who was wrong. So yeah, Isaiah Stewart might have gotten tossed from that game, but he earned the respect of fans everywhere. Next up, we're taking a trip down to Orlando, where the NBA decided to stage a basketball bonanza in the midst of a global pandemic. It was a bold move, a gamble that could either pay off spectacularly or crash and burn in epic fashion. That's right, folks, we're talking about the NBA bubble, a unique, unprecedented experiment in the world of professional sports. Now, on the surface, it sounded like a recipe for disaster. Imagine the logistics, the planning, the sheer amount of coordination required to pull this off. Stick a bunch of millionaire athletes in a confined space for months on end with no fans, no escape, and enough hand sanitizer to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It was a scenario ripe for chaos. What could possibly go wrong? Turns out pretty much everything. From hilarious mishaps to unexpected challenges, the bubble was a roller coaster of emotions and events. The bubble was basically a real-life Truman Show, except instead of Jim Carrey, we had LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and a whole cast of characters who kept us on the edge of our seats. Every day brought new drama, new stories, and new reasons to tune in. First off, you had Jimmy Butler, the man who single-handedly turned the Miami Heat into a championship contender, deciding that coffee wasn't just a beverage, it was a lifestyle. His passion for coffee became a headline in itself. This man, in the middle of the playoffs, started his own coffee empire inside the bubble. It was a sight to behold, a testament to his entrepreneurial spirit. And he wasn't selling your average cup of joe, no sir. We're talking $20 a cup hand-ground artisanal coffee that had players lining up like they were at Starbucks on a Monday morning. It was the talk of the bubble. Jimmy Butler, the coffee kingpin, who would have thought? His coffee business became a symbol of the bubble's unique culture. Then you had J.R. Smith, the man who once forgot the score of an NBA Finals game, deciding that clothes were optional in the bubble. His antics were both amusing and bewildering. I'm talking shirtless interviews, shirtless workouts, shirtless walks around the campus. J.R. was living his best life, and honestly, who can blame him? We were all stuck inside, going stir-crazy, but J.R. embraced the madness. His carefree attitude was a breath of fresh air in a tense environment, and who could forget about the players trying to sneak their friends and family into the bubble? It was a saga of its own, filled with creativity and determination. The NBA had stricter security protocols than Fort Knox, but that didn't stop these guys from getting creative. The lengths these players went to for a little companionship, it was both hilarious and heartwarming. The bubble was a microcosm of human behavior under pressure, a social experiment that revealed the resilience and ingenuity of the players. So yeah, the NBA bubble was a wild ride. It was unpredictable, it was chaotic, and it was definitely one for the history books. A testament to the spirit of sports and the determination to keep the game alive, no matter the circumstances. The NBA bubble will be remembered not just for the games, but for the stories, the personalities, and the unhinged energy that made it an unforgettable chapter in sports history. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unbreakable bond of the basketball community. The NBA bubble was more than just a solution to a problem. It was a phenomenon that showcased the best and the quirkiest of the basketball world. Now, let's talk about the time Draymond Green decided to give his own teammate a taste of his championship-caliber defense. It was a moment that would go down in NBA history, not for a game-winning shot or a defensive masterpiece, but for an unexpected and shocking altercation. That's right, folks, we're talking about the infamous Draymond Green-Jordan pool practice altercation that rocked the Golden State Warriors and had the entire basketball world buzzing. It was a moment that no one saw coming, yet it quickly became the talk of the town. Picture this, it's the middle of training camp, the Warriors are coming off their 4th championship in 8 years, and everyone's feeling good. The team is riding high on their recent success, and the atmosphere is electric with anticipation for the upcoming season. Steph Curry's still got that baby-faced assassin swagger, Klay Thompson's back from injury, and Draymond, well, Draymond's being Draymond. He's the heart and soul of the team's defense, always intense, always vocal, and always pushing his teammates to be their best. And by that, I mean he's in everybody's face, talking trash, and generally being the NBA's most lovable instigator. His fiery personality is both a blessing and a curse, driving the team to greatness but also occasionally leading to friction. But this time, Draymond took things a little too far. His competitive spirit and intensity boiled over in a way that no one expected. During a heated scrimmage, he got tangled up with young Jordan Poole, a rising star who was starting to make a name for himself. Poole's confidence and skill were on the rise, and he wasn't backing down from anyone, not even a seasoned veteran like Draymond. Words were exchanged, tempers flared, and then, bam! Draymond Green, 3-time NBA champion, 4-time All-Star and Defensive Player of the Year, throws a punch that would make Mike Tyson proud, connecting squarely with Jordan Poole's jaw. It was a moment of sheer shock and disbelief. The footage leaked online faster than a Steph Curry three-pointer, and the internet exploded. Social media was ablaze with reactions, memes, and endless commentary on the incident. Suddenly, everyone was a boxing analyst, dissecting the punch, analyzing the body language, and speculating about what could have possibly driven Draymond to such extremes. The incident became a hot topic on sports shows and news outlets around the world. The Warriors tried to downplay the incident, but the damage was done. The team's unity and focus were shaken, and it was clear that this was not something that could be easily brushed aside. Draymond was fined, suspended, and forced to issue a public apology. He expressed regret for his actions and acknowledged the impact it had on the team. Jordan Poole, to his credit, handled the situation with grace and maturity, but you could tell he was shaken. The young player had to navigate the aftermath of the incident while continuing to prove himself on the court. The incident cast a pall over the Warriors' season. The once cohesive and joyful team now had a cloud of tension hanging over them. It created a rift in the locker room, eroded trust between teammates, and ultimately contributed to their disappointing early exit from the playoffs. The punch heard round the world had lasting repercussions that the team would feel for a long time. Now let's talk about Kawhi Leonard, the man who single-handedly brought a championship to Toronto, then celebrated like he'd just won a game of Connect 4. Now I'm not saying Kawhi isn't happy when he wins, but this man shows less emotion than a brick wall. But hey, that's Kawhi, right? The fun guy, the claw, the most unintentionally hilarious superstar in the NBA. It all started back in 2019, when Kawhi led the Toronto Raptors on a magical playoff run, culminating in their first ever NBA championship. Now you'd think winning a title would elicit some sort of emotional response, right? A smile, a fist pump, maybe even a tear or two. But not Kawhi. This man, after hitting one of the most iconic shots in NBA history, simply turned to the crowd, deadpanned, "What it do, baby?" and walked away like he just ordered a pizza. The internet went wild, memes were created, tweets were sent, and Kawhi Leonard, the stoic superstar, became an unlikely viral sensation. And it didn't stop there. Throughout the playoffs, Kawhi's bizarre antics and monotone interviews became the stuff of legend. He clapped like he just discovered the concept of applause, his laugh sounded like a dial-up modem connecting to the internet, and his post-game celebrations consisted mostly of standing perfectly still and blinking slowly. But here's the thing about Kawhi, he doesn't care. He's not trying to be funny, he's not trying to be a meme, he's just being Kawhi, and that's what makes him so endearing. And finally, we come to Ben Simmons, the man who single-handedly redefined the phrase, "too scared to shoot." His reluctance to take a shot has become the stuff of legend, a cautionary tale for future generations of basketball players. Now I'm all for passing up a good shot for a great shot, but Ben Simmons took it to a whole new level. He seemed to have an aversion to shooting that went beyond mere strategy. It was almost psychological. We're talking about a point guard, a 6'10" point guard with the athleticism of a young LeBron James, who was seemingly allergic to shooting the basketball. Imagine having all that talent and yet being paralyzed by the thought of taking a shot. It all came to a head during the 2021 playoffs, when Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers faced off against the Atlanta Hawks, in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The stakes were high and the pressure was mounting with each passing game. The series was tied 3-3, and Game 7 was coming down to the wire. Every possession counted, every decision was scrutinized, and the weight of the moment was palpable. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Fans were on the edge of their seats, holding their breath with every dribble, every pass, every shot. With the Sixers trailing by 2 points and just over 4 minutes left on the clock, Simmons found himself wide open under the basket. It was a golden opportunity, a moment that could have turned the tide in favor of the Sixers. No defenders within 10 feet, a clear path to the rim, a chance to tie the game and silence the doubters. It was the kind of moment that players dream of, the chance to be the hero. All he had to do was dunk the ball, a simple, straightforward play that would have electrified the crowd and boosted his team's morale. But what does Ben Simmons do? He passes the ball. In a moment that will be replayed and analyzed for years to come, he chose to defer. Not just any pass, mind you, but a weak, hesitant pass to Matisse Thybulle, who was immediately fouled and missed both free throws. It was a decision that left everyone in disbelief. The Sixers went on to lose the game in the series, and Ben Simmons became the scapegoat for a city starved for a championship. The fallout was immediate and intense. Now, I'm not saying Ben Simmons is the sole reason the Sixers lost that series. Basketball is a team sport, and there were many factors at play. But his unwillingness to shoot, his fear of failure, his utter lack of aggression, it was maddening to watch. It was as if he was battling his own demons on the court. It was like he was playing with a mental block, afraid to unleash the beast within. A player with so much potential yet so much hesitation, leaving fans and analysts alike wondering what could have been. And there you have it, some of the wildest, most chaotic moments in the NBA over the last decade. From on-court brawls to off-court antics, these moments have kept us entertained, outraged, and everything in between. They've sparked debates, fueled memes, and reminded us why we love this crazy, unpredictable league. Did I miss any? Of course I did. There's no way I could fit all the NBA's wildness into one video. So drop your favorite crazy moments in the comments below. Let me know what had you shaking your head, laughing out loud, or yelling at your TV screen. And hey, if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss out on more NBA madness. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.